In fact, Michael, can we step back for a minute? Because the testimony, the evidence is striking, including a former vice president taking contemporaneous notes about the actions of the president he served and for a very, very long time served very well in terms of he had his back. Mike Pence had Donald Trump's back. What do you make of this moment in history as we continue to learn more about the case and we are going to see Donald Trump entering yet another courthouse for the third time, facing very serious charges, arguably the most serious?
Very much so. And I agree with you, the most serious. And let's just remember, although this scene looks a little bit like what we've seen before, this is a day that we have never seen before in American history. This is an ex-president of the United States indicted and arraigned for things he did in office.
When you step away from the politics of it, does it, as a historian, take your breath away a little bit?
It does, because of the consequence of what he did on January 6th and in the run-up to that. You know, Richard Nixon obstructed justice. You know, we've seen that charged lately. Other things, abuse of power. But in Trump's case, this was not to cover a political embarrassment like the Watergate scandal. This was something that, had it succeeded, and it came really close, we could have lost our democracy, our rule of law, the way that we choose presidents and other public officials.
How do you keep America focused on the gravity, as you describe it, of this moment, this case, because of the multiplicity of cases that are now arrayed against him and more to come?
Well, I think one thing is that if this case is the first one to be addressed in a trial, that will help a lot. But I think we always have to remember that, as serious as these other charges have been, this is something that could have caused us to live in an autocracy, and may yet again, because Donald Trump is running for another term.
But there is such a lack of transparency. Not only is it a federal court, this is a federal court where there are only 11 seats for journalists, period, from all of the international and national media.
Terrible.
There's an overflow room, but that itself is also limited. There's been the issue raised about cameras in the courtroom, and that would be up to the Chief Justice of the United States, who has spoken out against cameras in various courtrooms before. And it's extremely unlikely that he would change his mind. But how important would it be if, like the January 6th hearings and the Watergate hearings, which you know so well, if America could see this, see the defense, see the arguments, see the cross-examinations, and have a better feel for what is going on inside?
Absolutely, and especially because, compared to most of American history, if we do not see this trial with our own eyes and hear with our own ears what is said about Donald Trump and what is said by the judge, and see this history unfolding, we're going to be dependent largely on third-party accounts in a media atmosphere in which there are many people who want to protect Donald Trump, who will disseminate lie after lie, and a large chunk of the American people will be misinformed about the gravity of these charges and how well this is being done.
And you speak of the media and how people are in their own niches and are only getting the information that they see. There's also foreign interference. We have plenty of evidence that there are already attempts by China, Russia, and others to manipulate the thinking about all of this.
Yeah.
And they have direct ability to do that in all sorts of ways that did not exist before the internet. So compare it to the time of Nixon 50 years ago this summer. There was a mainstream media. There were people handing out handbills with conspiracy theories on corners, but they didn't have access to billions of people on the internet. Very different now.
Michael Beschloss, thank you for coming in.